Warriors Ballad is an ongoing dark fantasy web novel released in 2024, written by Dodongpa and published on Munpia. With over 290 chapters currently available and 117 translated into English, the series continues to expand steadily. Blending action, tragedy, and psychological depth, the novel explores themes of war, consequence, identity, and the weight of past. Rather than presenting a traditional hero's journey, Warriors Ballad asks a more unsettling question: what remains after the legend is born? The prologue places Ricky at the center of the frame, an orphan boy living a hollow, emotionally detached life. He neither seeks happiness nor feels sorrow, drifting through existence without direction. This changes when a passing lord arranges his marriage, introducing warmth and meaning into his otherwise blank world. Just as Ricky begins to enjoy this fragile happiness, he is recruited for the Eastern expedition. He leaves for war carrying a single hope, that one day he will return to his family. Over 10 long years, the battlefield becomes his crucible. When Ricky finally returns home, exhausted and broken, he discovers that his family has betrayed him. In a moment of uncontrollable rage, he kills them. As further truths come to light, his despair turns outward, and he slaughters the entire village. Branded a criminal across the kingdom, Ricky spends the next decade hunted and hunting, forging a legend that paints him as a demon king, until at last, his journey comes to an end. Nearly 100 years later, with Ricky's reincarnation. This new life is a stark contrast to his previous one. He grows up surrounded by love, a mother's embrace, a father's discipline, and brothers who care for him deeply. This warmth is reflected in his demeanor, making him more grounded and human. However, circumstances tied to inheritance eventually force Ricky to leave home. While deciding what path to take, he begins hearing stories of his past life, not through memory, but through the world's retelling. He learns of the Eastern expedition, of the bloodshed, and of how his old friend Carlbug is said to have killed even more people than he did. These stories raise a quiet but persistent question: was the war worth it? Seeking understanding rather than power, Ricky chooses to become a mercenary, not for glory, but to retrace the land shaped by that war and confront the legacy he left behind. Ricky is a deeply pragmatic protagonist. He is not dominated by his past, but it subtly informs his choices and restraint. His development is gradual. He forms new relationships cautiously, guided by reflection rather than ambition. His motivation is not conquest, but reconciliation with a man he once was. The story introduces a wide cast of side characters, none of whom exist merely for convenience. Each has a distinct personality, a defined past, and a clear narrative purpose. Like Ricky, many are bound by their histories, struggling in their own ways to confront, escape, or live with them. This shared burden of memory gives the story emotional cohesion and depth. The narrative is fast-paced, rarely giving the reader time to pause. Events flow naturally from one to the next, keeping engagement high without feeling chaotic. Rather than relying on shocking twists, the story maintains momentum through consequence-driven storytelling. Combat is visceral and grounded. The novel does not glorify violence. It emphasizes exhaustion, pain, and consequence. Ricky is strong, but never overwhelmingly so. He does not tear through armies effortlessly. You feel the weight of every fight. His breathing grows heavier, his movements slow, and even his sword begins to feel burdensome. This makes every battle tense and earned. While supernatural fantasy elements are introduced, their role remains subtle for now. Their purpose is not fully revealed, and their impact on the story is limited, keeping the focus firmly on human conflict and character-driven drama. At its core, Warriors Ballad is an action-focused story with deeply complex characters. It allows its fights to unfold in a grounded, deliberate way, and its fast pacing ensures consistent engagement. For readers new to novels or web novels, this makes it an excellent entry point. The prologue, however, sets an exceptionally high bar. Its impact is overwhelming, dark, fantastical, and emotionally devastating, creating immense anticipation for what follows. While the main story remains consistently strong and engaging, it occasionally feels like it is striving to reach the same heights promised at the beginning. That initial dream, the intensity and scale introduced in the prologue, feels slightly restrained as the story progresses. Even so, the journey remains compelling and well worth experiencing. And for readers looking for romance, Warriors Ballad offers an intensely slow burn approach, one that unfolds patiently, but delivers emotional moments that truly linger.